Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcasts. Today we're doing a focused look at an upcoming earnings report for a company that's, been making quite a few waves in the software development space. We're zeroing in on Gitlab and its highly anticipated upcoming earnings. Lots to watch there. And hey, if you find our insights valuable, please do subscribe, like this episode, and maybe leave a comment. It really truly helps us bring more of these analyses to you. Oh, and if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, just pop it in the comments below and we'll definitely do our best to cover it. You can also consider buying us a coffee if you appreciate the work we put in. Okay, Gitlab. What exactly are we getting into today? We've gathered some pretty comprehensive sources to give you a clear picture, what to expect, what to watch for, and what it all could mean for the company's future. Our mission is basically to boil all this info down into the most important nuggets, helping you understand the landscape quickly and thoroughly.
That's exactly right. Gitlab, yeah, a significant player in this whole DevSecOps platform market. And their next earnings report is just around the corner. What's fascinating here, I think, isn't just the numbers themselves, though those are important. It's the context surrounding them. Historical performance, recent product launches, those broader industry trends. We'll try and connect those dots so you understand not just what is happening, but really why it matters to you.
Okay, let's kick things off with the absolute basics then.
All right.
When is this report actually dropping?
Right. So mark your calendars for Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. That'll be after the market closes.
September 3rd, after the close.
Yeah.
Got it. That's when we get the official word.
Exactly. And leading up to that, analysts have already kind of set their expectations. The Wall Street consensus for revenue is estimated right around $227.1 million.
Okay.
And for earnings per share, or EPS, the consensus is pretty tightly grouped between C$816 and C$417. We also saw the company's own guidance, right, from back in Juneteenth for Q2 fiscal 2026, and that was right in line. $0.16 to 17 cents for EPS and revenue between $226 and $227 million.
So pretty aligned there.
Very aligned. Now, there isn't an explicit whisper number floating around, but, for these kinds of growth stories, it often runs just a little bit higher than the official consensus. So maybe, potentially, you're looking at something like $0.17, maybe even $0.18 on the EPS side.
Right, that unofficial expectation. So what does this all mean, really? These numbers give us our baseline, essentially.
Exactly. It's the benchmark.
A beat, a miss, or even just meeting those expectations.
Yeah.
They can send ripples through the market, and that's what we'll be watching for you.
Okay. Let's unpack this a bit more by looking back. Gitlab's past performance. History often gives us clues, doesn't it?
It certainly can, yeah.
Our sources show Gitlab has quite a track record of, beating expectations.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, looking at the last 4 quarters, Gitlab has consistently surpassed what analysts were estimating for EPS.
Since consistently. For example, Q1 fiscal 2026, the actual EPS was $0.17. The estimate was $0.15. So a 13% beat right there.
Right.
Before that, Q4 fiscal 2025, that was an impressive 43% beat. Actual EPS, $0.23 against an estimate of 23.3.
Wow, 43%.
Yeah. And Q3, Q2 of fiscal 2025 also saw beats. So there's definitely a pattern of exceeding expectations. What's also fascinating here is how the stock reacts.
Right.
Recent history shows the price often gaps up on these beats, especially, with those bigger surprises. Though the follow-through can vary. Sometimes profit-taking kicks in afterwards.
Okay, that's a strong pattern to consider. But it's not just about beating numbers, right? It's about what's driving those beats. Our sources point to some pretty compelling key metric trends.
Absolutely. Things like 27% year-over-year revenue growth in the latest quarter they recorded. That's solid. Significant operating margin expansion, too, which is great for profitability. And record-adjusted free cash flow. Plus, they're seeing continued growth in their customer base. And importantly, an expansion of their AI-driven DevSecOps platform. That seems to be a key focus.
Right, the AI piece. So here's where it gets really interesting, I think. What significant events happened during the quarter that could actually influence this upcoming report? One major highlight seems to be the launch of GitLab 18.
Yes, GitLab 18. That was emphasized as their most comprehensive, most sort of intelligent DevSecOps platform so far.
Okay.
And this ties directly into that broader ongoing focus on AI-native development tools. They're targeting enterprise growth, developer productivity. If we connect this to the bigger picture, demand for cloud software, it's still pretty robust. And there's continued strong spending specifically on these AI-driven developer productivity tools right across the sector.
So they're hitting the right notes with the AI focus.
It seems so. GitLab's positioning as an AI native platform looks like a clear tailwind in the current environment, even with, the mixed sentiment in tech overall because of interest rates and whatnot. This niche seems strong.
It really sounds like their product strategy is aligning well with what the market wants right now. And interestingly, you mentioned analyst expectations earlier. Recent commentary shows they're still tightly grouped, suggesting not much controversy.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Relatively little controversy or expectation of a big surprise from the analyst side, near term anyway. And from a technical standpoint, looking at the stock chart leading into earnings, GitLab shares have actually consolidated in recent weeks.
Consolidated meaning?
Meaning they haven't had a big defined run-up nor a big sell-off. It suggests a fairly balanced positioning among investors, like maybe outsized expectations aren't being aggressively priced in right before the report.
Okay, that makes sense. Balanced. And for those listeners interested in options trading, what's the market signaling there? Any anticipated moves?
Oh yeah, the options market is definitely anticipating a notable move, as it often does around earnings. Based on trends in similar companies, sector peers, and GitLab's own history post-earnings, the options market is currently pricing in an implied volatility for a move of, let's say, plus or minus 7 to 10%.
Okay, 7 to 10% swing potential.
Exactly. It means the market expects the stock price could swing pretty significantly one way or the other right after the announcement. And it's worth noting, in tech and software, you often see higher call option volume before earnings. Sometimes that hints at home for positive surprises.
Interesting. Okay, so with all that context, the history, the recent events like GitLab 18, the market signals, let's look at potential scenarios. What would a bullish outcome actually look like for GitLab?
Right, the bullish case. That would be the classic beat and raise.
Beat and raise.
Meaning, not only do they exceed expectations on revenue and EPS for this quarter, but they also provide stronger than expected forward guidance for the next quarter or the full year. That would be particularly potent if we see signs that adoption of their GitLab 18 AI native platform is really picking up speed.
Like big customer wins.
Exactly. Positive commentary on the customer pipeline, maybe expanding margins even further, stronger free cash flow. All that would fuel a rally.
Okay, and on the flip side, what's the bearish case?
The bearish case would be, well, a miss on the current numbers, or maybe even more damaging, a guide down.
Guiding lower for the future.
Precisely. Especially on forward revenue or maybe slowing customer growth. Things like weak conversion of free trial users, signs of hesitant enterprise spending, maybe margin compression instead of expansion, or just slower than hoped for AI feature adoption. Any of that could trigger a sell-off.
That paints a really clear picture of the push and pull there. So this raises a crucial question for everyone listening. When that report drops on September 3rd, what single metric should you be watching most closely? What's the key signal?
That's a great question. For me, the key metric, it's got to be their forward guidance, particularly for revenue, and closely tied to that, any platform adoption numbers they release, especially metrics tied directly to those AI native products and, as you mentioned, large enterprise customer wins. That guidance is really the clearest signal about their future growth trajectory, not just the past quarter.
Forward guidance and AI adoption metrics. Got it. So pulling it all together then, based on everything we've discussed from our sources, what's the overall leaning for GitLab going into this report?
Okay, the overall leaning based on our analysis is probably best described as neutral to bullish.
Neutral to bullish.
Yeah. If I had to put a number on it, maybe a confidence score around 7 out of 10 for that outlook.
Okay, a 7 out of 10. Why that score?
Well, the rationale is pretty strong on the bullish side, right? They've consistently beat expectations. Operational momentum looks robust, and that investor focus on AI and developer tools is a significant tailwind for them. However, you have to temper that a bit. Broader macroeconomic concerns are always lurking, and they operate in a really crowded mid-cap software space, lots of competition. So, hence the neutral part of the outlook.
Right, balancing the company specifics with the broader picture. Makes sense. And finally, for those listening and considering their own strategies, what are some thoughts, depending on their risk tolerance?
Sure. Well, for more risk-averse investors, it might just be prudent to wait. Hold off until after the earnings dust settles, get some clarity. Or if you already own shares, maybe look into protective puts to limit potential downside.
Okay. And for those with a higher risk tolerance?
Well, given that expected volatility we talked about, 7–10%, a short-term options play like a straddle or a strangle could capture that move if it happens. But those are risky, obviously.
Betting on a big move, either way.
Exactly. And given the history of outperformance, maybe a slight bullish skew makes sense for some, selective call spreads perhaps to lower the costs. And then for long-term investors, the strategy might be different again, maybe accumulating on dips,
Mhm.
especially if management delivers that strong forward guidance and keeps showing margin improvement.
Lots of different ways to approach it, depending on your view and risk appetite.
Yeah.
So wrapping this up, what's the core takeaway? GitLab's upcoming earnings report?
Yeah.
It's clearly more than just numbers on a page. It feels like a window into the health of a key player in this whole evolving DevSecOps and AI-native software world. There are consistent beats, that strategic AI focus. It could signal continued strength. But as always, got to keep those global economic factors and competition in mind.
Indeed. And I think this report isn't just about GitLab itself. It's kind of a bellwether, potentially, for how AI adoption is really impacting developer productivity and actual enterprise spending. Are companies putting their money where the hype is? Consider how that narrative around AI and software is shifting maybe from just potential to actual tangible results, and how companies like GitLab are positioned right at that intersection. So the question for you listening might be, what insights will you draw from their guidance about the broader industry's direction? Where is AI in software really heading?
That's a fantastic forward-looking point to leave things on. Really makes you think. A big thank you for joining us and sharing all those insights. And to everyone listening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment with your thoughts. Or let us know any companies you want us to investigate next. And if you'd like to support our work, hey, consider buying us a coffee. The link's usually somewhere down below. Until next time, stay curious and keep digging deeper.